Hello, and welcome to C3 Kids. I'm Ashley, and I'm pumped to be here today. This whole month, we've been working on something that will change the way we speak and act with other people. We're doing whatever we can to make peace. Peace isn't just about being still or quiet, like... No, real peace is the kind that takes a lot of work. Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. When you do the work of making peace, it's like you're building a bridge. Kind of like the one behind me, except instead of it reaching land, it's reaching out to someone else. You're choosing to reconnect with another person. You're taking what's wrong and finding a way to make it right. You're not just focused on having things your way. You're showing the other person that they're important and valuable. You're choosing to treat them the way you would want to be treated. Well, we've got another super cool story coming up about someone who decided that she could make peace. And she was quite creative too. You're gonna love it. But first, let's hear from one of our very creative C3 Kids leaders who's gonna tell us all about the bridge they made.
Hello, C3 Kids friends. It's Lisa here. And I built this bridge, as you can see, out of some wooden blocks. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, why are you playing with blocks? Like, you're pretty past the age of playing with blocks. But these are blocks that I have from when my daughters were little and they were home, and we would play with these blocks together and build all sorts of things, sometimes bridges. And they reminded me of what we're talking about all month long in C3 Kids. They reminded me of the idea of peace and building a bridge. Because you see, my daughters are grown-ups now, and they live really far away. They don't live here in Maryland. They live in Florida and in South Carolina. And that's pretty far away. And I miss them so much sometimes. And sometimes I can even get a little bit mad that they don't live nearby. And I wish they would, and I can get kind of angry. But then I think, and I pray, and I ask God to give me peace about it. And what He does is He reminds me that my daughters are exactly where He has placed them right now. He has them in the places where they live for a reason. And they are doing great there. And they are doing their jobs, and they're doing an amazing job with their jobs. And that's just right where they belong. And so that makes me realize that I need to care more about where my daughters are and how they're doing with what God has for them in their lives than I do about getting my way, right? And winning what I want. So this bridge that I made out of these blocks that I played with them reminds me of how much I love them and how much I miss them, but it also reminds me that I can go to God and ask Him to give me peace when I'm missing them and feeling sad. And He reminds me that where they are and what He has for them is so great and so wonderful, and I can be at peace. So that's my bridge. See you guys.
Wow, what a fun month it's been seeing all of our cool bridges that these C3 leaders have made. So cool. Now it's time for us to make our own bridge though, so why don't we bring our co-host out? Let's give it up for Amanda. Hey Amanda.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm good.
Already the end of April, can you believe it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Flew by.
I know. Well, if you can tell, there is a bridge behind us, and that's because this month we're talking about peace, and peace is all about building bridges between people. So we're going to go ahead and build a bridge, and instead of like competing like we normally do, we're actually going to work together this week.
Okay.
Okay, you ready to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go do it. Okay, so here we are, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a bridge from this side to this basket. We have to get the ball to get into this basket. Okay. And so every week we've had a different material to use, and this week we got blocks, which I think is actually going to be pretty fun. I mean, we had Easter eggs one week, so that was pretty hard. I did bring tape because we've had tape every other week, but since it's blocks, I'm not sure we'll need it. We'll just see how it goes, right? Okay. We can always use tape if we need it. Okay, so basically we're just going to start and we're just going to go. And we have like 3 different kinds of blocks. We got Jenga blocks, like alphabet blocks, and we got some Legos in here. So let's just see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what do you think? I feel like these are like big, so I feel like these are good like base, right?
Like, are we trying to like do something like this, where it like goes down in between them?
Oh, you can. Either way, like
Or
it's
are we
just
like just making steps where something moves?
yeah, it doesn't matter. We can try whichever way you think. All we have to do is go from there into the basket. Whichever way works.
Oh, alright, so.
So I'll like make at least a little big right here, right? These might be the. We don't have too many of these, so we can't build a whole tower.
Okay.
Especially by optimal.
Okay, and it's gonna come over here.
Yeah, so it's coming in pretty high, you know. We have some Jenga blocks too, though. Always get some height.
Mine's gotta be high, and then it's
Yeah.
gonna go down,
Yeah, so I'll try and, I'm making mine too far apart. I think it'll like fall in. Because I don't feel like we have enough to like build a solid thing, so I might even like put some blocks like this in top. I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm kind of using the outlet blocks like the bottom of this. I know. It's like we're running low on outlet blocks. We need like we had bandanas on the weekend. We need those back. It's fine. Oh, I like multiple.
I'm like, well,
Oh, you're right. Oh, it's not too bouncy, so hopefully it won't. But it probably isn't like too much of a drop. Or it'll like fly off. Just like they're falling down. We're running out of Jenga too. We just Legos.
just gonna fly down there or do the edge?
Should we like push it? Yeah. So it's a little bit more. Yeah, over here. A little right here. There we go. That's more outlet blocks. I like his outlet blocks there. So I think if we like build it a little bit, maybe right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Good. If we make this a little bit. So it's like a little.
Yeah, it's gonna roll right on there. There we go.
Ooh, it even has like a little curve to it. I think that'll help. Okay. You want to try it? We can always try again if it falls off.
Okay. Alright.
Oh yeah, first try. That was good. I think it beat our 2 tries. So there you go. We're learning every week. This was good. But blocks were pretty like stable, which is good. They were more stable than Easter eggs, and more stable than party hats.
I can
for
imagine
sure.
that was hard.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? What was your favorite week of our bridges? What do you think? Okay, well that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We built our bridge. It worked the first time. That's the best one we've done.
Success.
So, yes. Well, now is the time of the show where you reveal the bottom line for us. Could you do that?
Sure thing.
Awesome.
You can show you care about others by being part of the solution.
Oh, that's cool because when we're making peace with people, sometimes we have to help us, make peace by coming up with a solution. Have you ever had to come up with a solution?
Yes. So, I mean, I have 2 daughters at home, so I'm the peacemaker quite often these days. But yeah, like even just as far as dinner and such, there's 3 of us and everybody wants something different. So the only way to make everybody happy is to try to come up with a plan where everybody gets what they want each day a week. So, maybe tonight we have tacos and the other one wants pizza, so then tomorrow will be pizza night. That way everybody feels like they're winning if we're getting what they want at some point during the week.
That's awesome. What a good solution. Oh man, that's good. I gotta get one of those. Just do that at my house too. Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun this month, and I hope that if you got your family box, you filled in all your stars so that you can get that prize. And next week is a whole new month, which means a new family box. So if you didn't get one this month, it's not too late to sign up for one for next month. It has a lot of cool things, and we really think you'll enjoy them. Yeah. Well, it's time to go to worship and then your story. It's going to be an awesome day. We hope you guys have fun, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I could sing about every blessing, name them all one by one. I could sing about the way you love me better than anyone. feel alone, and how you're always there to lift me up when I'm feeling low. I can sing because I know your love will ever and always be. It's why I'm singing, I'll never stop singing. Everybody sing with me. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love for me. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love for me. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love for me. Oh, there's never ever gonna be anything better than your love.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25.
God had promised David would be king, but for now, King Saul ruled Israel. David lived his life on the run, followed by a group of misfits who had become friends and servants. One day, they arrived in the desert of Paran, near the land of a wealthy man named Nabal, who owned 3,000 sheep.
We'll set up camp here, man.
At first, Nabal's servants didn't know what to think.
Too many strangers around these parts. We've had food and sheep go missing.
But David's men were honorable. They didn't try to steal from the shepherds. In fact, David protected Nabal's shepherds from any harm.
Stay as long as you like, my friend.
About time for sheep shearing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Nabal will hold a grand feast when it's all over. Your men have helped us, so they should share in the celebration.
David called for 10 of his men and gave them a message to send to Nabal.
On it.
David's messengers hurried up the mountain to Nabal's estate and were brought to stand before him.
Well, what do you want?
Nabal sneered down at the men while he continued to chew on a fine leg of mutton.
David says, may you live long, may things go well with you.
Continue.
He says, I hear that you are clipping the wool off your sheep. When your shepherds were with us, we treated them well and protected them. Now please be kind to my men. Please give us any food you can find for us.
Nabal leapt from his seat and hurled the mutton bone across the room.
Who is this David? Probably a runaway servant. Why should I give bread and meat to a nobody and his men who come from who knows where?
David's men returned to camp and delivered the news.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
Men, put on your swords. We'll make Nabal wish he hadn't.
At no time at all, David and 400 of his men were marching up the mountain to confront Nabal. It seemed there was no stopping a battle. But Nabal's wife, Abigail, was far wiser than her husband. A servant told her what he had done.
David sent messengers asking for food, but Nabal shouted and was rude to them.
Go on.
The whole time we were near them, David's men were good to us. They were like a wall, keeping us safe. You've got to do something now, or terrible trouble will come.
There's no time to waste.
Abigail quickly directed her servants to gather supplies and put them on donkeys.
200 loaves of bread.
Check.
5 sheep.
Check.
1 bushel of cooked grain.
Check.
100 cakes of raisins and 200 cakes of figs.
Check. And check.
Well, you go on ahead. I'll follow.
The donkeys, loaded with good food, started down the mountain. Abigail got on her donkey and followed. From the valley, David and his men were approaching.
Everything we've done has been worthless. I watched over this fellow's property, but he's paid me back evil for good. We'll wipe him out.
As David's anger grew, though, he spotted something along the path. A pack of donkeys.
What's this?
It looks like they're carrying something. Food for a feast, I'd say.
Behind the pack of donkeys, Abigail prepared for what lay ahead.
I must stop this.
The moment Abigail saw David, she slid off her donkey and fell face down on the ground before his feet.
Please, let me speak. Let me take the blame for Nabal's actions.
Abigail raised her eyes just enough to notice David's surprised face. He nodded.
Don't pay attention to Nabal. He's always doing foolish things. I'm sorry I didn't get to see your messengers, but I've brought a gift for you. Right now, the Lord has kept you from killing Nabal and his men. Let the Lord deal with your enemies.
Abigail rose to her feet. David and his men listened, surprised by the strength of her message.
You fight the Lord's battles, so he will give your family line a kingdom that will last. He'll make you ruler of Israel. And when he does, you won't have a heavy load on your mind about killing people with no reason. The Lord will give you success. When that happens, please remember me.
Abigail took a deep breath and waited. David smiled.
Give praise to the Lord. He sent you to find me. May he bless you for this. You have kept me from using my own hands to get even.
David's men unloaded the food that Abigail had brought.
Go home in peace. I'll do what you have asked.
Abigail made her way back up the hillside to her home. She had chosen to humble herself and do the hard yet creative work of making peace. In the end, Nabal paid the high price for his foolish anger, but God blessed Abigail.